Alrighty, welcome to day number 8 in our Profit Seeker series. We've taken a few trades already today, and then I got sidetracked fixing a bug. But we're recording the video now. We'll go through those trades, talk a little bit about some of the things we've changed, and why we weren't trading towards the end of last week and the beginning of this week. So let's jump straight into it then. So it's about 20-30 minutes ago I took these trades. In fact, they've gone out of the system here, but we can see them plotted on the chart here. So we have one for Eurogbp. We've got a buy, and I like the level we're at here. I thought we were sort of at this level where it's bounced up quite a bit. It's come back down here, it's tested, and it's retraced a little bit. So I think there's a fairly strong case for it to head upwards. Then again, it does like to go up, come back down, go up, come back down. So we could go either way with this one. But we've got a reasonable risk to reward ratio of over 2 on the reward category. So I don't mind this trade at all. We've not had much luck when it comes to Eurogbp. We have actually traded Eurogbp more than many of the other pairings, and you can see that we've only actually got one winner out of a total of 6 trades. So we're hoping for a good trade with this one, and we're hoping that it's going to swing upwards for us. So let's take a look at some of the others. I think I took one for Eurogbp, yes. Another buy. So we're bullish on the euro, and this is another trade that I don't mind at all. It's sort of down at this level. We've been sideways for quite a while, but we are still in an overarching uptrend, a bullish trend. So although we're sideways here, we can go back and we can see we did move to the up. We did also see a bit of a breakout here, only to come back down again. But we're reaching these levels where we like to bounce and make a move, so we're hoping that we're going to head to the upside. I do think that the reward here is a little bit high. I would like it maybe in this range here. However, obviously then we would be looking at a smaller risk to reward, and on this one we have almost 4. We've got a healthy 3.5 reward. Looking at some of the other trades, I don't think we did Euro USD. No. We didn't do GBP USD. I know we did USD JPY. So we've got a sell here. Stop loss above most of these levels, except with this being the exception. We're looking to sell. We're looking to head down. I think that's a reasonable trade. There's plenty of times we've come down to this level and our stop loss is, in a healthy position there. So I quite like this trade. Again, we've not exactly been profitable on the USD JPY, so we'll see how this one turns out for us. Then I believe USD CAD was... No, what was the last trade that I took? Must be CHF? Yeah. Okay, USD CHF, so we've got a sell here. It's had quite a strong up move here, and we've sort of reached this level here. There's a bit of a gap in the market here. You'll notice the algorithm crashed for that period, but we're at this level where it likes to reach, and then it's not exactly sure what it's going to do at this level. So we're hoping that we're going to head down. It looks like we might be. We've got a strong red candle coming in, and if we break below this level here, then I would be expecting us to continue downwards. By break, I mean a candle closing below this level here. I'll be expecting us to make a decent effort towards that take profit down the bottom. So those are our trades. We might sit around for the next batch of trades, which will be coming in about 5 minutes. And while we're doing that, we'll take a look at a few of the things that we've added and some of the things we're looking to improve over the coming week. So firstly, you might notice we've switched to having a checkbox here. I've refactored a lot of the code when it comes to how it all functions, the filter here, but we now look for all of the recent signals within the last 100 minutes for each pairing, and it filters based on what you're viewing on the chart. So you can click that, you can filter all of the signals that are coming through. It'll show you the most recent one. It'll show you an indication as to what were some of the recent signals that were given for that pairing, just to let you know whether or not there's indecision or whether we are thinking the market is going in one direction. So just for example, we can go back to seeing all of them. We can switch over to the Euro USD. It changes. We can then filter those should we choose to. Again, you could leave the filter on and you could switch between like so and easily keep it like that. We also filter the journal, so that's a small addition that'll make things a little bit easier for people to, at a snap glance, identify how they've been performing on a particular pairing. So we can easily see that. We can cycle between and see how we've been performing recently. Then if we want to view all of them, we can just click that button and go back to all of them. So a small thing, but it's another thing that'll be helpful when it comes to just clarity of what you're looking at, as well as reviewing trades. It'll make things a lot easier for you. So that's one of the things we added there. We've also added the ability to plot the trade before taking it. So if you want to have an idea as to what the trade is going to look like prior to taking that trade, then we can hit a button while the trade is available for execution. So at the moment we have no trades that are available for execution, so that button does not exist. A couple of bugs fixed. One I was getting where the rates weren't getting stored correctly, and it was causing some issues on the chart, and also updated the plotting of these trades a little bit just so it's a bit clearer. I was having some issue reading the numbers, the pip values on the take profit or stop loss if they were the coloured portion of the trade plotting. So small things like that. Small things like fixed an issue with the clock up here. We had also a couple of issues with just how the data was being displayed. So I've gone through and managed to fix those. Made some additions to the leaderboard. Made that a little bit prettier. We're showing now the current month, the returns. You'll notice I'm not doing terribly well. This hasn't actually been updated to the most recent because we're not on the live server right now. If I was using the live server, that would show the most current updates. We also show the previous month, so you'll see previous month I was positive 1.41%. And we might add possibly the accuracy as well for that month, so you can get a side-by-side comparison. But I think this will be a really cool page here. We're aiming to inject a portion of our sales, our profit, as a prize pool to incentivize people to use the system, to gamify the system a little bit, make it a little bit more exciting, and the top 5 to 10 people will be paid out a portion relative to their positioning at the end of the month of that prize pool. So you'll see the top right, we've got a countdown. We've got 15 days, 8 hours, 17 minutes, 54 seconds left in the month. Uses UTC time and will always use UTC time. So at the end of the month, we'll tally up the results, see who ranked number 1, and the prizes will be divvied accordingly. Now, initially, we're just going to be doing this for fun, but once we start seriously marketing, we will start adding a prize pool. Also added the tabs here just so we can filter through the different topics. You can easily jump between and see different things in preparation for adding some tutorials, which we actually don't have any as of yet. And the reason for that being, we want to get the system to its version 1.0 effectively, and then we're going to create tutorials and things around that. Otherwise, we'll just be creating a tutorial, having to re-record it, change it, and update it, because I'm making so many changes so quickly here. So over the next couple of weeks, what we're looking to do, there's a couple of things Armory still needs to fix with the human strategy. This is predominantly just to do with how they're stored and the amount of data that we're using. So we will switch to using 6 months of data, or 20,000 candles, which is actually longer than 6 months if you look purely at the candle aspect of it. And a few other things that we'll implement to get things moving a bit smoother. We also noticed a bug to do with our win-loss checker, so the thing that goes back through all of the trades that have been taken and validates those trades. So we'll be looking to fix that. And we are trying to implement what's known as data point uniqueness, which will be used to ensure that we get an even spread of data for training and creating and testing these strategies as we go, the Hermes strategies, that is. So once we can ensure that we've got an even amount of data, we will be having an even amount of buying and selling agents within our agent pools, meaning instead of just getting buys or just getting sells, which is the case at the moment for most of the pairings, you will be given many more trades of the opposite to do with the main trend. Obviously the main trend will still be overbearing, and it will still probably have the most signals given, but we will have the option at least to be seeing counter trend signals coming through. So that's going to be pretty exciting. There's also what's called gradient descent, as a form of algorithm for arriving at the local optimal solution, right? So we use gradient descent, which I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it uses sort of a form of linear regression to find the optimal, the local maximum or minimum, depending on what you're trying to do, and that means that we can have many different agents, and we can optimize those agents or those strategies based around their own parameters without fusing them all into the same, right? Because if we try and find the global maximum or global minimum, then we will basically always arrive at roughly the same style of agent. And that may be the single best agent, but we want a diverse range of agents that can perform in different settings and different markets, rather than just overtraining and training specifically for one outcome. So that's something we'll look to implement relatively quickly as well. Hopefully not too long after Christmas and the New Year, that should be up and running. And there's many other things like that that we will be implementing that will have a drastic improvement on the system and the signals that we're getting presented. So we should have a couple of signals about to come through. We'll take a look at them. I don't think we're going to take any, but I'll showcase the ability to plot the trade, which is this little signal button here. So we can click that and it will show up. We're actually already on AUD USD, so I didn't change, and it shows up like so. Gives us an indication of where the stop loss would be exactly, and where the take profit would be exactly, the pip value, and obviously the color used to identify which is which. So if we were to change, we can quickly do that. It will take us to the next pairing, and it will plot that. Now obviously we've already taken a trade here, so we've got that in the background. But we can see if we were to take another trade right now, this is what the signal is telling us we should do. So let's quickly look at some of these other ones. We'll cycle through them. We want to take a look at the USD JPY, I believe. No, we've already taken a trade there. GBP USD, not much in terms of risk reward there. Euro USD, same. We've got a 2-to-1, which I don't mind. We're already quite heavily stacked on the euro though, so if the euro goes against us, we're likely going to lose this one as well. So we're not going to take 3 trades for the euro as the base pairing, and we'll just leave that be. The AUD USD is the only other pairing. We've got a reasonable, in fact, we've got a really good risk reward there, and it's not super unlikely that this will happen. So we're going to take that as well. So we've taken 5 today, 5 trades, and this is something I need to fix. When the trade gets taken, we remove the plot, the temporary plot that we've added. That's super simple to do. I'll do that in a couple of minutes after this video. But that's us done for today. So we will check back in tomorrow, see how everything turned out. Today being Wednesday, we had a bit of a late start, and that was just due to us deciding what we were going to do. We knew we needed to fix a couple of issues, and these are issues that this gradient descent I briefly talked about and this data point uniqueness will resolve. These are things that we desperately need, and we know we've needed for a while. They've now just reached the top of the pile. So we're going to implement those things. I oversimplified data point uniqueness as well. There's many different things that this helps with, and it's a fundamental necessity for time series machine learning data sets. It will speed things up dramatically, and it will also ensure that we don't overanalyze certain parts of the data set, right? Because we have this ability to distinguish which data points are super common and which data points are more unique. And we can find these more unique data points that are profitable, and we can set agents to try and tackle that problem. So that's us done for today. As I said, we'll check in tomorrow. If you want to keep in touch with what we're doing here, please do consider subscribing. We're going to be releasing regular content every single week as we go through this Profit Seeker series, as well as creating different trading style videos to try and bolster our marketing and get some attention, much needed attention, to our MLFX product, which is getting better and better by the day.